Today I'm going to show you how you can make friendship bracelets and weave them out of a cardboard loom. So the first thing you need in order to be able to do this craft is you need a piece of cardboard. You can use a cereal box. It can be thin cardboard. It doesn't have to be anything too thick. But thick is okay as well if that's what you have. And then you want to take a tape round and use that as your circle, or you could use a bowl or the lid to something as your circle. But what you want to do is, when you have what your circle is going to be, and it needs to be big enough for the circle to fit in your hand comfortably, is you're going to draw a circle in your cardboard, and then you're going to cut it out. Don't worry if you mess up and the circle's not exactly round. So that's the first step, is to cut out your circle. The next step is to take your scissors and finding the middle of the circle, or close to the middle of the circle, I would say it's right here. I'm going to very carefully take the point of my scissors and poke it through. Then I'm going to put a little bit of my scissors through all the way to the other side and just keep moving in a circle. Like that. Once your circle is big enough from the scissors, you can use a pen or a pencil and just applying pressure, push it through the middle. Because you want to have a hole in the center, because when you're done with your loom and you actually start the weaving process, your bracelet is going to actually come out of the middle of the back of your loom. So you need that hole there. So that's the second step. First step is to cut out your circle. The second step is to put a hole in the center of your shape, your circle. And then you want to use a ruler or a straight edge, and you want to make a line from the top of the circle to the bottom of the circle in the middle. So this is known as the diameter. When a line goes from one side of the circle across the middle and to the other side of the circle, that's called a diameter. When it just goes from the middle of the circle to the side, that's called a radius. So we've just made one diameter, and it kind of looks now like a Pokemon shape. So now I want to turn it so that I'm looking. Now this line is on the side, and I want to draw another straight line down, making a giant X on my loom. Okay, so now we have it divided into 4 pieces. We are now going to make 2 more lines and divide this into 8 pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my very first shape, find the middle of it, and make a line straight down. If it's not exactly the middle, that's okay too, but you want to try to find good equal spacing. Okay, and now I want to take it and look at this empty space here, find the middle of this, and make another line straight down. So these lines are going to be where I actually use my loom, or what I'm looming with. And so to make sure that I can see those pieces, I am going to take a magic marker, and everywhere I made a line, I'm just going to thicken it right at the end. And the reason why I do this is that once I make the slits in the paper, sometimes it can be hard for me to see where the slits are. So now I know the slits are wherever the markers are. So now I need to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut about an inch at from the side of the circle, at every place that I drew a line. And there should be 8 slits. So I'm making 8 cuts. So when you're done, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick any one of these slits, right? Any one of these places. And you're gonna make that the top. So you're gonna write T-O-P. And you're also gonna, below it, write start, S-T-A-R-T. And you know that whenever you start a new bracelet, that this is the top and this is the place where you start. Now, so you don't get confused in your movement, I also say you should put arrows. So we're always, when we do a loom, we always want to go in the same direction so that we have a consistent pattern. So I make sure and make it sort of dummy proof by putting arrows, so in case I have to put it down for whatever reason, I can pick it right back up again and not have any errors. So we're always going to be turning this to the direction of our left. Okay? So now your loom is complete. Now you can use this to make a bracelet. How are you going to do that? Well, you could use what is called embroidery floss. You can also use thicker twine. You can also use yarn, which I don't have any here right now, but you can use pretty much, thread is a little thin. It might be a little frustrating to use or work with, but you can use whatever sort of thread-like thing that you can find. And we have 8 slits on our loom, but we need 7 pieces or strips of string. So I have already cut my string. Where did I put it? While you're taking time to put together your string, and so what you want to do is you want to make sure that the string is long enough to wrap around your wrist easily, okay? And you want to make that length 7 times. Now this is a little short for me to use, but I just wanted to, I didn't cut a long enough length because I just want to show you how you make your bracelet. So you need 7 pieces of string, all cut to the same length. When you're done, you're going to take a knot and make a knot at one end of the string, and you want to have enough left over above the knot so that you could tie that off when the bracelet is done. So now that I have my string, all 7 pieces, and now that I have my knot already in it, I take my loom and I put the end of the bracelet with the knot through the back side. And I want it to come through far enough so that the knot is on the back side. And then what you can do is you can hold it. It's better to hold it than to say tape it. But if the first time you want to start, if you want to tape that so you don't have to deal with it, that's totally fine. But all you have to do is pull the knot to the back side and then place your fingers on it to hold it in place. So keeping my top knot or my top slit empty, right, where it says top and start, I'm going to keep that empty. I'm going to put a piece of string in every one of the other slits that I've made. So you just grab a string and you put it in the slit. You take your next string and you put it in the slit. You take your next string. Now, if you're using seven different colors, it doesn't matter which slit you put a particular string in because they're all different colors. But if you're using repeating colors, then you might want to pay attention to where you put them because it will change how your pattern looks. But you can explore that as you get. And missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually am missing a piece of string. So I'm going to take a duplicate pink. I'm going to push it through my back so that it meets the other ones that are knotted. I'm going to hold that and then I'm just going to pierce my last piece. So now I have 7 pieces of string and 8 slits. So my one at the top is empty. What I'm going to do is, starting from the top one that's empty, I'm going to count 3 on my right side. 1, 2, 3. The third string, or the third space, I'm going to take the string out of that space and move it till it fills the empty slot. Now I'm going to turn it this way, just like the arrow said, so that my empty piece is now at the top. I'm now going to count 3 to my right, 1, 2, 3, and take the string that's in that groove and put it to the top. I'm then going to turn my loom so that the empty piece is on top. I'm going to count 3 to my right and take that string and go over. So I'm turning and I'm filling. Turning and, oops. That's my string that's not tied in. I may have to tie that in at some point, or just be conscientious to hold it. Okay. So 3. Turn it. This is empty. 1, 2, 3. Turn it. 1, 2, 3. Turn it. 1, 2, 3. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to turn and move the string. Turn. Always the third one. Turn and move the string. Turn and move the string. Turn and move the string. And as you keep going, you will see a pattern begin to emerge on the back side of your loom. And so what will happen is, the more you do this, the longer your bracelet will be. And when it's done, the bracelet will be completely on this side of your string, of the loom. Then you just take your strings off when you're ready, and your bracelet is as long as you need it to be. You take it off the loom, pull it through the back of the hole, and I just started this one, but then you would just make a knot with the remaining string, pull it all through, and then when you're done, you would just tie the 2 pieces together, thus making you a bracelet. Or in this instance, I'm going to tie it off at the end. So then I can just tie it to my wrist. You may need someone to help you do the knotted part. These are great to give as gifts. They're great to sort of do while you're watching TV because once you get used to the rotation, it becomes that much easier. It can be relaxing. You can show your parents how to do it. You can show your friends how to do it. And they make great gifts. They make people feel really special, and you've made them all yourself, and you can be super creative with it. So all you need is a piece of cardboard, a circular shape, scissors, marker, and some kind of thread. And you have an activity that you can do almost anywhere. You can travel with it. Because remember, once you put it down, as long as you remember, if you wrote which direction you're going and which direction is the top, you can find the empty string and always continue. Find the empty one and always continue. I hope yours come out great.